Let's talk about this because I'm gonna tell you, Atlanta prices are getting ham right about now.
Well, if you rent, it may not come as a surprise. It's getting harder to get by. Metro Atlanta, not the bargain it used to be.
We're taking a look at the numbers and the possible solutions. Kevin Stewart joins us live from Douglas County with the story. Kevin?
Yeah, this shouldn't be a huge surprise to anyone, but when you actually see the numbers, I think it's fair to say it's something else.
It's moving day again for Emerald Fox. The veteran single mom and IT specialist moved from D.C. to Smyrna, then here to Douglasville. Next stop, East Point.
So East Point's going to be your best bet in renting a house.
It's still more. I mean, it's still the same.
But she says,
Now, hold it. If you don't know anything about Atlanta, I'm gonna bring you up to speed real quick. Douglasville is on the west side of Atlanta. So Atlanta is a city like this. And you've got 280, you got 85, 75 going north-south. You got 285 that circles Atlanta. Then you got 20 that cuts through. So the city's like this. So 20, this would be, if you're looking at it, it's west to you, right? 20 west, if you're looking at this, is where Douglas is, Douglasville. So she's talking about moving from 20 west, which is Douglasville, which is outside of this perimeter. So it's not Atlanta proper. It's not even the city of Atlanta. Into the city of Atlanta, East Point, which is a little town that's in Atlanta. People keep saying East Point is separate from Atlanta. It is separate. It is its own city. But damn, you cross over the street and you're in East Point and it looks just like Atlanta. And they're probably worse when it comes to building code and home inspections for construction. Not probably, they are. Okay? I don't like buying down there. Don't buy down there. Okay, so she's moving into the city to pay less? I mean, I'm trying to figure this out, but that is legit what's happening. And I realize, you know what? I do get why. A lot of people are moving outside of 285. They want to get outside of that perimeter outside for cheaper rent. So I guess we're seeing a shift of some people having to move back in because everybody moved out for cheaper rent and the rent isn't as cheap as they thought it would be or is more expensive. And so they got to move back to the city because the city is lowering rent because people were moving outside of the city. Welcome to Atlanta.
at least her family will have more space this time. Now, according to the Zillow Index, which tracks rent asking prices over time, watched by the Atlanta Regional Commission, Forsyth, Cherokee, and Fayette counties go for over $2,000 a month. Fulton County, the heart of the metro, the asking price sits at $1,891 a month. But here's some perspective. Clayton County's asking price is $1,708. 10 years ago, that price was only $792.
Oh, this is disturbing. When I moved to Atlanta, Clayton County was the place that you wanted cheap rent. I keep telling people, I say this is a blue collar area. When people move into, and when they're trying to move to Atlanta, they typically move into Clayton County, Riverdale. That's Riverdale, Hampton, Jonesboro, Stockbridge, largely because it's cheaper down there. Because it's just was cheaper. It's not in the city. It's outside of perimeter, and more people want to be on the west side, northwest, north. So not everybody was moving south. And I was wondering why. And over time, I figured that out. That used to be the hood, bro. But it had good people. Good people. But now, this is the thing that's going to turn Atlanta upside down. When Clayton County is as much as living in a city, where's the peace at?
Did you think moving to Atlanta, you were going to get a better bargain?
100%. They'll pay you enough to live on your own.
That part. Take a look at the ARC's data to prove it. The yellow line is rent. The green line is income. They don't match up.
That is a strain on people who are in that lower and middle income bracket.
And that's a fact. I believe that. I don't believe it matches up for the everyday Atlantan, because these corporations that come in, they bring in C-suite executives, they bring in middle management, they hire in those places, and those people are, if they're living in Atlanta, they're not complaining about this most of the time. Most of the time. They've relocated them or they hired them on. A lot of times they could be work from home hybrid. We've got a big tech build up in Atlanta also. So you got a lot of corporations here, but the people that are running them and in those buildings and living, they are not, some of them live in Atlanta, but they're not complaining about this. This affects the average person moving to Atlanta, the person who is not working at one of those positions. You may be working in a type of customer service or receptionist, or you may be even in the nursing industry, but you're not a RN nurse. You haven't built up so much time and skill under your belt to warrant a large check. This is a big deal. This is a big deal because these are the people that keep Atlanta going in some ways, you know?
That is not really being relieved by these market forces. We've also, as you mentioned, seen housing prices increase substantially historically, even though there has been a slight decrease, maybe of 1% to 5% typically, based on different counties. But the wages that people earn have not kept pace at all. They've increased around 40% over the last 10 years, whereas rents have increased between 60 and 100%.
The ARC says building more apartments, affordable apartments, and homes is one solution, at least for the rental pricing issues. It's working on that.
It's a 2-year planning process to help different communities understand what type of housing they need to build, where, and at what price point to best serve their communities.
Meantime, Fox is hoping this move, although tough, is the right move.
It's unlivable. No, nobody can do it on their own. You cannot do it on your own. You have to like shack up or something, and I'm not built like.
Hold on, run this jump back again. Hold on, say that again, young lady. Say that again. Hold on.
You cannot do it on your own. You have to like shack up or something, and I'm not built like that.
You gotta shack up or something. She's not built like that, and that is the truth. There is a lot of hoeing around going. I think Atlanta. I'm curious with this whole economic shift. How will it affect dating in Atlanta? How will it affect some of the crazy things that we used to see? Atlanta being the Hollywood of the South, and the requirements from some of the women that were out there. I don't know. Don't know. Don't care. I'm married. But actually, I do care in a way because it is funny to watch. Okay? But it is true to say, true to form, to say that if you come to Atlanta, my suggestion to alleviate that, you do want to do something like, if you got a roommate, if you can know a cousin, staying with family, save some money, keep some money in your pocket, you know? If you're going to rent a house, you probably do want to go outside of the city. And it sucks, but it's still, I don't truly believe in the city is still the best way for you to go. I mean, that's my personal opinion. But there are some good places. You know, it depends on where you want to live, because cheaper in Atlanta doesn't always mean safe. Okay, I'm just telling you, it doesn't always mean safe. Matter of fact, 99.9% of the time, it doesn't mean safe. Okay, all right. But we're going through a big change, and one of the biggest things that's causing this in the city, and a lot of people don't say it, they won't talk about it. The taxes went up. Insurance companies left Georgia. Some of them left Georgia. And with the increase of taxes, simply because we had massive appreciation, we are dealing with this. Because just like apartment complexes raise their rate, individual owners have to raise their rate because they have to offset the cost that they are now getting through taxes. If their house goes up in value, and it can be commercial property, it can be, and this is commercial, apartments are commercial, multi. If they're going up and being appreciated for more, your tax bill is going to be higher. And that's going to roll over to the renter, and that's really what it is. So we've seen, I believe, in Atlanta, a decrease this past year in people actually coming to the city of Atlanta. And I may be wrong. But I believe we've seen a decrease taking place in people moving to the city of Atlanta. So, living in Atlanta, what is it truly like? Let's talk about this.
I hate to say it, but I'm so excited that Atlanta has finally stopped growing, because once Atlanta stops growing, the rest of these southern cities are going to stop growing. Okay? Atlanta experienced their first growth rate decline in their population in the last 30 years. And it's due to a lot of things, but primarily because of the rising cost of living in the South. The whole purpose of people moving from more expensive regions of the United States to the South was to save their money, right? To make their dollar really stretch.
I think that was good probably in the 90s, chick. Probably in like 2000 to 2010. But man, right after 2000 and right after the mortgage crisis happened, Atlanta just exploded different, almost like 1996 Olympics exploded. It's just insane because it was so cheap and people bought it at such a cheap rate. And people all around everywhere were like, man, it's cheap down here. And they started coming down here or buying down here as an investment. And that caused it to go up. Now, population decline. Why do we have a population decline in this city? I think it's because of people realizing that Atlanta is not an easy place to make it in. It doesn't matter what you think of the city. The grind in Atlanta is like navigating the dynamics of Atlanta is just like navigating the dynamics of New York. It's just doing it in the South in a different way. How do I know? And you don't have public transportation to that level of that caliber that they have in New York. So when you get enough people coming down here and realizing they can't do this type of stuff, we don't offer the same type of, free programs or to that extent that you would get in New York, rent caps and stuff like that. There's still a capitalist society down here. It makes it harder to navigate. You got to come and move with friends and family. You can't come down here and just be doing what you want to do when you want to do it. Too many people come down here and they just do what they want to do when they want to do it. And they think since they're in Atlanta that Jermaine Dupri or some star, they're going to be hanging and chilling with them. And I'm going to Atlanta for this. Bro, that Atlanta is no more right now.
And that's no longer the case. You have rising housing prices, you have rising insurance costs. Now food is just as expensive. I mean, I went to Chicago the other week. It's the same price I'm paying in New Orleans. It's insane. Like, it's just insane what has happened to this country, especially in the South. Now, I'm excited, me. Okay, because all this means is as the population continues to shrink in these major southern cities, we're gonna start seeing some housing correction. Okay, your girl has been waiting. I think most millennials, especially in the South, have been waiting. Okay, especially if you're native to the South. We've been waiting a long time. Okay, feels like centuries now. It's only been a few years, but it feels like centuries. So I'm excited to see what happens after this. I think Atlanta needs a cool off. I think Orlando, Tampa, I think these southern cities need a cool off, period. Austin is also starting to see a little cool off from that pandemic boost that it got. So, I mean, I'll continue to watch it. I'll continue to report on it. But I feel like, guys, the light at the end of the tunnel is, we can see it, okay? We can see it. Just hang in there, okay?
That pandemic money is dying out now. All these little incentives, all this free money, all this government subsidized shit, all of that. When you have the economy is retracting, when it's coming in, yeah. It makes it harder for people to move around and, oh, I'm going to Atlanta, I'm going to chill down there. No. It makes it harder to do that. Not the same, nowhere near the same. This game has changed. It's changed and it's changing so freaking fast every doggone day. Yeah. Now, we got to look at it. That's why we have this population decline. The money's not flowing like it used to flow back and forth as easy and as free as it was before.
I feel like things are going to get better in terms of cost of living in the South, girl. We got to get back to our roots.
Yeah.
And if you think about Atlanta, right now today in Atlanta, the National Low Income Housing Coalition released a report that basically says for a person to be able to afford a 2-bedroom unit in Atlanta at fair market rent, they would have to earn a housing wage, an hourly wage of $41.
Oh.
$41. Now, minimum wage in the state, I'm sorry, is $7.25. And so,
Woo. I'm telling you, $41 and the minimum wage is $7.21. You cannot live right now unless you have some way to get another bag outside of your job. And if your job is giving you $41, then I'm gonna say
congratulations, well done.
But some people aren't doing that. And I continuously, I would say this and I continue to say it, man. You gotta be building a brand, and you gotta be building streams. And those streams gotta come out of your brand, and you can't be afraid to work a job and do your thing. And you gotta know that while you're working your job and you're doing your thing and you got this business on the side, then you may be doing your content, then you may be doing your job, then do it. Nothing wrong with that. Continue doing it. There is a thing in Atlanta where people are shamed for actually working, for actually putting in effort and building something. Because all these people out here that I come by be fake. They want you to believe that they made it out of the mud, and then you see what they do and it's like, nah, you probably scammed out of the mud, but they don't have any type of substance to them. And that's not everybody, but it's a good amount. And substance requires you to be able to work and do your hustle and your grind and what you do. I love doing real estate. I love doing deals. I love doing programs with loans. I love doing all those different things. I love affiliate, and I love making my content and being out here and doing that. And when it's time, I also like doing my projects and not letting nobody know. Atlanta is that place where you got to keep this stuff close to your chest now. You can no longer go out here and try to influence or flatter people. You need to be in a place that says, hey, I don't care what people think. You know, I don't care what people think. I'm not here for them. I'm here for me. I'm here for my family. I'm here for our grind. That is the only way you hit that $41 that you need average to live in that city, because you got to realize you got people that still don't do nothing in the city. Or they may do things, but they don't let you know what they do. But this is a city where you can have your bag from your 9 to 5, but you also got to have your grind. Not your grind. I keep saying grind, and I'm getting out of saying that grind. I don't like saying grind because it's like struggle to me, and the culture always says grind, but it's why you want to grind and struggle when God has already given you everything you need for life and godliness. He already said it. So just do your dream, because your passion, but then keep your job. But make sure your passion makes some money, because that's the only way you're going to get that $41 extra thing you need right there. And Atlanta is one of those places where you can't have linear income. You've got to be tapping in from multiple directions.
that means a person would have to earn close to 6 times the minimum wage to be able to afford housing in this city. Okay, that's important because we can't subsidize our way out of it. So when you think about the public subsidy resources we have to be able to make a development affordable, to be able to help somebody pay their rent, to be able to encourage someone to go to home ownership, those resources only go so far. So while we're tackling the housing issue, we also need to tackle the economic mobility issues in order to ensure that people can earn a living wage in order to be able to afford to have some place to stay.
So if you're going to sit back and wait for subsidies to help you, you're going to be waiting for a long time. You see already, you're going to be waiting a long time for these subsidies. Subsidies aren't the key to actually being successful in this city. And scamming and taking money ain't the key. You're going to get killed out in this mud, okay? But building skills, building talents, getting 1 or 2 licenses, not being so, concerned with the job and what other people think about you. You do that for a little time until you move to the next. And in the course of all of this, build your relationship with God, man, so you can discern and see when you got snakes in your space, and you keep your group tight. You don't got to always be friends with everybody. All of these things trickle into what the income looks like going into your house. The lie and the misconception is that you need people and people come down to Atlanta to make these connections. No, you just need to be good at what you do. And you need to continue doing it. And you got to have a level of confidence for yourself. And then you got to hold that confidence until people actually say, oh, this dude is good. He's nice. And then you continue doing what you do. Don't run around trying to be everybody's soulmate and friend and best friend. And there ain't no connection that God can't give you. And I keep telling these people that. So you don't never get to the point of making the dough that you need to be successful in this city because you start on the wrong foot. If you come to this city, you need to come knowing that you're going to be working from the inside out. Don't go looking for people to make you successful. Stop it. Just stop it.
Listen, you coming to Atlanta, listen to me. If you going shopping, if you going to like Lenox malls, any of these malls, whatever, especially Lenox, and just shopping, do not leave nothing in those cars. And be cautious when you go in there and shopping with them, buying all these expensive stuff. Because trust me, you're being watched. So I'm giving you the heads up. If you're coming to Atlanta for the holidays and you're trying to shop, be cautious with your surroundings because you are being watched, especially going to these malls like Lenox Square Mall. Because I'm telling you, they really be out there during the holidays. Thanksgiving, Christmas. Get somebody to walk you to your car. If you're going to get some designer stuff, getting expensive stuff, get somebody to walk you to your car. Because I'm telling you, they out there watching. And you will get got. And don't leave nothing in your cars. Because they will be breaking in folks' cars. So I'm telling you now, giving you the heads up. Be cautious when you come.
They will be breaking into your cars. They will be breaking into your cars. Welcome to Atlanta. They will be breaking into your cars. They will be doing it. And no joke. I'm telling you, that's that place, man. Yo, Live Free, Give Hope, 12-month freerent.com. I'm an ambassador for the program. We're giving away a 1-bedroom, 1-bath apartment in Atlanta, fully furnished, utilities included for 1 year. All you got to do is go to 12monthfreerent.com. You don't have to pay anything to jump into this sweepstakes. It is free to enter. But I always know you want to win because whether it's 10 people or 10,000 people, the place is still going to go, okay? So get yourself some bonus merch. Grab yourself a sweater. Grab yourself a beanie, a hat. It doesn't matter. Every dollar that you spend in there also gives you 1 entry into the sweepstakes, and you can have up to 600 entries in the sweepstakes, guys. Like, follow for more content. I'm about to tap out. This is me. The day's over for doing this. I'm about to go sell some real estate. Let's go do some real estate deals. I'll see you guys on the next show. Real Estate Lunchbox. I appreciate you guys. Y'all be blessed. And remember, God loves you, man. And more importantly, he wants you to realize who you are in him. And that's all that matters.